Morning, everyone, and thank you all for taking the time to attend, despite what I'm sure is a very busy schedule this semester. As Elaine has said, I will be presenting our ongoing project, so this is just the first phase of our work. So just the structure of what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start with a very quick poll. I promise it's not long, then a quick introduction and giving you some context, literature review, methodology, initial findings, and then a general discussion on what our next steps are going to be. So if you can all use your mobiles to scan this QR code or just join at vvox app, that would be great. Okay, and so this is the first question, and it says, if you shop at Dunn Stores, Aldi, SuperValu, or Tesco, do you use their loyalty programs? I'll go back to the screen just in case someone has missed the QR code. Okay, I think, oh, some more people. All right, so, okay, so most of you do use the shop there. I think these are most of them. Second question is, do you redeem any of the vouchers that any of those supermarkets use? Okay, very good. So most of you do sometimes or as much as they can. So you're familiar with the vouchers and the programs. And the last question, have you heard about the social media groups where people can exchange their supermarket vouchers? Okay, so most of you, 75%, have not heard about that. Okay, so hopefully that will be some new information for you today. Okay, so just a general introduction of how this project started. So nearly 3 years ago, and I can't believe it's that long now, I moved to Ireland after accepting my current academic position at Maynooth University. And soon after arriving, some new friends I made who were themselves mostly non-Irish introduced me to grocery voucher groups as a way to save money on food costs. So I didn't join the groups with the intention of studying them, but with time, the emerging patterns and the sporadically revealed information soon became very interesting from a consumer behavior perspective. So to further explore those identified patterns, I needed a more direct approach in order to gather additional data. And this is how my participant observation turned into an exploratory research with my co-investigator, Elaine. So on the left of the slide here, you will see this is a screenshot from one of those voucher groups on WhatsApp. So loyalty program memberships in general are on the rise globally. Loyalty programs help brands to reward repeat customers, which leads to driving sales and increasing customer lifetime value. And these programs usually offer rewards such as money off coupons, gifts, vouchers for future spends, and they usually follow the purchases of fixed amounts. So in 2024, and on average, 63.2% of European adults are members of at least one loyalty program, and this extends to 75.6% of customers in the Irish market. And this in itself was an increase of 1.9% from last year. Furthermore, a 2024 report stated that 39% of European consumers were more likely to participate in a loyalty program in 2024 versus 23, mainly due to the financial incentives and the rewards often. And one type of those loyalty schemes is the voucher. which are given by supermarkets. So at this stage, our research focuses on the top 4 supermarkets in the Irish market. So Dunnes Stores, which has 24.3% of the market, followed closely by Tesco Ireland, then Super Value, and lastly by Lidl with 12.8%. So one of the challenges supermarkets face is encouraging loyalty members to engage in the loyalty schemes. With inflation impacting disposable income, and this is combined with soaring food prices, supermarket customers are more attracted to joining loyalty and reward programs that provide them with special or personalized offers, discount codes, vouchers, which we'll focus on, in-store deals, collecting points or credits that can be redeemed for a wider variety of benefits like physical gift items or services like free shipping or even entry into VIP clubs. So consumers perceive more value for their everyday spending with vouchers and loyalty programs. And since a membership may incentivize customers' future purchases, retailers, on the other hand, in general, must look at loyalty programs to drive in-store engagement and to consider their impact on increasing customer acquisition, retention, and conversion. Typically, in Ireland here, vouchers are issued by supermarket loyalty schemes that are subject to minimum purchases over a given time. So, for example, you have a €5 voucher when you spend 25 or more on groceries, or a €10 voucher for a €50 spend. And as vouchers are usually valid for a limited number of days, and other customers may not have a voucher available when they shop, voucher gift giving and exchange groups have emerged on different social media platforms such as Facebook and WhatsApp. So grocery voucher gift giving can be considered a pay-it-forward phenomenon. So the gift giver receives a similar favorable treatment in the future from another member of the community, or they receive then they return the favor in the future to someone else who is in need. And as customer-led groups, that they operate independently from the supermarkets themselves. And these groups are administered by volunteer consumer admins or moderators who enforce the rules and occasionally post tips and norms for the group. So what is the research gap? So when we looked at academic research that has investigated loyalty schemes in relation to topics, we found that they talked about topics like success in managerial terms, redemption behavior, sales promotion, purchase intention, privacy, coupon redemption, effectiveness of loyalty schemes for the stores. Even food vouchers are usually investigated when it comes to welfare vouchers. However, there has been little if any research that was conducted to investigate consumers' attitudes towards those voucher exchange groups and their effect on consumer behavior or their impact on consumer food choices and well-being. So to the best of our knowledge, we are the first to investigate the impact and effectiveness of those vouchers and how consumers forge connections using those schemes. So we're trying to fill a notable gap here with the research. We're trying to build an excellent literature in the fields of well-being, gifting, consumer behavior, brand communities, and try to provide new insights on those research areas. And the first step towards doing that is that we started by interviewing moderators of those online groups. So a quick literature review is that loyalty programs are considered a marketing process that generates rewards for customers on the purchases of the repeat purchases, while they help the business to bring new customers. In a saturated market, loyalty programs can be used to differentiate one offering from another. The benefits are offered when consumers need them the most, and this positive effect can be enhanced, leading to feelings of gratitude and reciprocity, which are two important drivers of the relationship formation between the businesses and the customers. When communal engagement shared among customers is added to this financial incentive, stronger loyalty is elicited, which leads to more engagement in social media and favorable word of mouth. On the other hand, supermarket loyalty programs can help customers with their grocery price inflation, rising food bills, which leads to maintaining healthy eating and supports their overall well-being. So what is gift giving? Gift giving is a process with possible reciprocity between a giver and a receiver. And consumer gift giving has been studied from several perspectives, like social, well-being, economic, and within several disciplines. So in contrast to market-based economies that rely on dyadic and transactional relations, gift economies do not guarantee direct personal return. So here, gifting is a practice of altruistic exchange. It is sustained by generalized reciprocity or a paid forward phenomena, and it is built on trust and goodwill. Gift giving can be viewed as a form of pro-social behavior, therefore, and it helps consumers to engage together. Prior research posits that intra-community gifting does not strengthen dyadic relations between specific individuals, but it reinforces solidarity and a sense of belonging to the community in general, which allows for expressions of gratuity in the moment and builds status through the generosity. However, this social solidarity is based on the norm of reciprocity, like a system of give and take. And this is sometimes undermined by what we call leeching behavior. So when a gift recipient does not contribute to the social gifting system, so they don't give back. As well as reciprocation, there are other motivations behind gift giving. So there's satisfaction, and individuals to pursue status transitions for a social identity. In the context of loyalty program vouchers in the supermarkets, our study explores gift giving and exchanging within the online voucher groups. And it is worth noting that unlike a paper in 2022 by Givi et al., who described gift giving economically as a unilateral transference of goods or a distribution of resources, meaning that the giver's loss should equal the recipient's gain. So there's economic gain here versus economic loss. With supermarket vouchers, there is an expiration date. So if the voucher is neither used nor gifted, it will be useless to the giver. Therefore, it is possible that gifting here is about sometimes avoiding waste rather than just altruistic motives. So considering the extant literature, our objective is to investigate consumers' motives for gifting and exchanging vouchers, and to explore those exchanges and gifts and how they influence their attitudes to the store beyond loyalty, and how they impact the food purchasing behavior and consumption. Therefore, in this first phase of the research, we ask three main research questions. Why do consumers create supermarket gift-giving voucher groups? Why do they choose WhatsApp or Facebook as a platform? And what are the challenges that moderators face when administering those voucher groups? So a quick review of the methodology and sampling. So after being granted ethical approval here in Maynooth University, we started recruiting participants because, as I said earlier, I was already an active member in those exchange groups for over a year before we started the project. We approached a total of 16 grocery voucher groups created on WhatsApp and Facebook, and those groups were created between 2021 and 2024. At the time of interview, the group sizes varied between 51 members and 114,400 members per group. Each group was focused on exchanging vouchers issued by either one or more of the top 4 Irish supermarket chains, Dunnes, Tesco, SuperValu, and Lidl. Our inclusion criteria was that only individuals who were at least 18 years old and geographically living in Ireland could participate. They have to be the founders or at least moderators of the groups. And to encourage participation, we compensated for the time with a gift voucher to the value of 15 euros. So we conducted in-depth semi-structured interviews on Microsoft Teams. We recorded the interviews with their permission, and each interview lasted approximately 30 minutes. At least one of us attended each interview. We took notes, and later on, we compared those notes with the fully recorded transcripts. And both myself and Elaine reviewed the transcripts afterwards and weighed notes and coded the data. And to alleviate any power dynamics in the researcher-participant relationship during the interviews, participants were made aware of the purpose of the research, and they were assured that they would not be identified, that their data would be anonymous, and that they can withdraw from the interview at any point. So we sent out 34 interview invitations, and we ended up interviewing a total of 10 group moderators. This is a 29.4% acceptance rate, and they represented 3 WhatsApp groups and 5 Facebook groups. So a possible reason behind this low acceptance rate is that sometimes Facebook and WhatsApp accounts have safety features that prevent others not on the friend list from messaging the people we would want to contact. So I think that some of our invitations did not go through to the moderators. All the interviewed participants were female. We interviewed 9 of them online Teams, on the Teams platform online, and 1 participant answered the interview questions in writing, and this was to accommodate her neurological condition that made her conscious of her mixing up the words when talking. 9 interviews were conducted in English, 1 was conducted in Arabic, and I translated that myself. And in addition to the demographic questions, we asked the moderators about why they started the groups as volunteer moderators, the rules for joining the group, the challenges they face, the posting trends that they observe, and their personal experience in exchanging vouchers. Reflexive thematic analysis provided us with the analytic toolkit for this research, and we chose TA analysis, the RTA analysis for 2 reasons. First of all, patterns of meaning are seen as an output from the data rather than just predetermined domain summaries. Secondly, in reflexive TA, researchers' subjectivity is essential, which means that subjectivity is valued because it helps researchers through an interrogative process to question what they bring themselves to the research. So in this context, a second perspective brought by the second author, Elaine, became useful because it offered us different noticings that can take the analysis deeper. We interviewed then based on the 6-step framework of Joy et al.'s 2023 Reflexive TA, which were themselves guided by the work of Brown and Clark in 2006 and 22. And these steps were to familiarize ourselves with the data set, then coding, then generating initial themes, then developing and reviewing those themes, then refining, defining, and naming the themes, and finally writing up. And this process was fluid and flexible, so it allowed us to travel between the different phases more openly. So it gave us the opportunity to recode as we go on. So what are our initial findings? We discovered that there are 4 major themes when we talk to the moderators. Why create the group, choosing a platform, group administration, and moderating challenges. And each of these themes will have a list of sub-themes and sub-sub-themes. So because of the timing, I'll only give a few examples from each theme. So why create the groups? There were different reasons, because they believe in sharing, reciprocity, the importance of food for the family, that the stores don't mind, they need a smaller community, brand loyalty, or evolving from other groups. So I'll just give examples of the sub-themes of helping, saving, and specialty groups. And I know a lot of people are struggling at the time. So I said a lot of people on my other page that I have were asking, does anyone have any vouchers? Does anyone have a tenner voucher off? And I just said to myself one of those days, you know what, I'll start and see how it goes. So we're just like to help people out basically, and for other people to get the tenner and then to give the tenner back as well. If 10 euros can get you 3 meats, do you know what I mean? Or then it can get a 3 packet of 3 nappies, 2 packets of wipes as well. Do you know what I mean? And it helps a lot of people. Like if the shopping was 100 euros, if they had the vouchers, it would be 80 euros. They're saving themselves 20 euros then, which is great. I was on a local moms group, and there were people there always asking for vouchers and also posting their spare vouchers. And so I said, let's do this separately. So I created the group so we could just do it, keep it separately. A second theme that emerged was choosing a platform, and the choice here was between WhatsApp or Facebook and Messenger. There are different reasons. For example, with WhatsApp convenience, more meaningful connections, less scrolling time, online engagement, and some people were just don't want more Facebook groups. On Facebook, it has a higher number of members being allowed, less engagement with the phone, quieter. They talked about the usage rate and that they never considered the other platform. Both of them talk about privacy, but for different reasons. So, for example, Facebook is more private. On WhatsApp, other group members can see your phone number, which means they can call you at any end. Since group members are strangers, I prefer Facebook. WhatsApp is handier. Like on Facebook, you need to search the group and then search the posts and then search the comments. But on WhatsApp, you just pop in and someone replies to you immediately, either on the group or private messages. So I think people who choose WhatsApp also found it more convenient and more easier to reach. The third theme was about group administration, and the admins talked about assigning co-admins to help them, leading group management after establishing them, sharing responsibilities, the rules they have to form, the evolution of the groups, and the possibility of low admin situations. So I'll focus on, I'll give you examples from themes related to setting rules, Rimi's behavior, and the development of norms alongside the time. I think in the beginning, the group had no guidance. It's not really fair. I didn't feel like it was fair to block someone out because somebody felt that they were being inappropriate, even if they were being inappropriate. So like with each grievance, I wrote a new rule to try and make us transparent as to how and why we might block someone. So this is a list of examples of some of the group rules. So we collected those from the different groups we were able to find. So groups included, rules included no spamming, no GoFundMe, no job announcements, no private messages, no hassling to return vouchers, no exchange of, no rules of no exchange. When asked to, you have to give your voucher back, no bullying, no harassment, to be respectful, to send vouchers by DM, and so on. On the left here, this is a screenshot from one of the groups, the Dance Stores Vouchers groups. You see that this group has 1,025 members, and this is the maximum that is allowed on WhatsApp. And they say on the group's page that if you have offered someone a voucher, kindly send the person the voucher privately to prevent the voucher being used by the wrong person. Please limit posts to requests for or offers of shopping voucher. And those who send abusive messages or repeatedly use the group for purposes other than voucher sharing will be blocked. So most groups will have similar pages about their norms. The fourth theme was moderating challenges. They talked about the hostile interactions they see, the frequency of private messages, stealing the vouchers or not returning them, group sizes when they got too big, the obligation to intervene, the non-voucher posts, and the administrative work that they have to do. So two examples was, for example, one said, I have observed some like bad behavior or people that I honestly don't particularly like, you know, that are aggressive. There was one woman who was just really, really hateful. And so you know that I find that difficult to manage because confrontation is hard. But you know, I have somehow stepped into this role of police person. So when people complain to me, I feel like an obligation to intervene. Another moderator said, a more common crime is that someone posted or someone says, yes, can I have this voucher? And it would suggest first comes, first go, serve. That person gets to use it. And then they get to the counter and they realize it is used because somebody else in the group has used this. So that's really frustrating and it feels nasty. It feels like a nasty and not like a communal way to behave in a sharing group. So a very general discussion here. So as I said, we're just still in the first phase, but from the themes that are emerged, we could see that there are cultural insights coming up that gives us an opening into consumer behavior. For example, some of those groups evolved from mothers groups, and that was something that we kept seeing. People talked about helping others in their communities, helping others to integrate into the Irish community. And there was always this question being asked, what is altruism? Is it a paid forward versus reciprocity system? We also saw some emerging insights into the development of communities. For example, there were themes about shared consciousness, sense of moral responsibility, and rituals and traditions. We expect that this project will have theoretical consumer and managerial contributions. So theoretically, we are investigating the motives that drive givers to give in the first place. So we are trying to contribute here to marketing and consumer behavior literature that focus on the themes of loyalty programs and gift giving. We also offer managerial contributions. So in general, businesses invest a considerable amount of effort and financial resources to set up, manage, and market their loyalty programs in order to retain customers, create loyalty, and collect their data. In a 2024 report, it was found that 74% of consumers cite offers and promotions as important or critically important to maintaining their brand loyalty. 91% of the consumers cite discounts or coupons as a valuable exchange for their personal data. So by understanding the impact of online voucher gift-giving groups on consumers and their loyalty, businesses can now seek to better market and manage their LP vouchers, motivate word of mouth, improve brand equity, drive in-store engagement, increase acquisition and retention, and ultimately consumer spending. So what are our next steps? So we want to start now the second stage, which is interviewing group members. So we plan to interview at least 20 members at this stage. And as per the ethics approval, the interviewed moderators have already agreed to let us recruit from their groups. Thanks to being funded by the School of Business, we have a first student that will be coming to work with us in the summer, hopefully. And so we hope that we will work and train this student on the interviews. Moving forward after that, we can see the third stage. We want to add focus groups to that. And afterwards, in a fourth stage, we would like to investigate similar groups, if there are any, that are set up in other European countries. So to compare and contrast with the Irish market. So that brings it to an end. Hopefully that wasn't very long. Thank you all. And I'm looking forward to any questions and ideas at this point. Thank you.